Okay, girl. All right, so next we have Peggy. Peggy, I met in February in person. She's an incredible woman. She has a big heart. I was honored to cheer her on in conference in LA. We met in February. She crossed the stage as a new Platinum 3. That's 9,000 in personal volume. She's a Director 1, meaning she has a team under her with over 12,000 in organizational volume, and she helps build leaders that are following her lead. Honestly, I love Peggy. I watch her, and she inspires me so much. She has a full-time, high-profile job. She's a mom. She's always traveling. She's, legit all over the world. One day she's in Dubai. The next day she's in New York. I think she lives in Wisconsin. Where is she? And she just does not skip a beat when she's showing up on social media. She has enrolled 5 social marketers this month. So we're going to ask Peggy Murphey, hop on, tell us how you got introduced to Modere, what you're doing here, and I'd love to hear your story.
Hey, Michelle. Thanks so much. And Lauren and Lori Lee, wow, so inspirational. Love your stories and things. So I'll try to keep everybody as interested in my journey with Modere. But so I'm a 58-year-old mom of a blended family, 7 kids, 5 from my husband, 2 of my own. 5 are grown and gone, and 2 are in college. And as Michelle mentioned, I work full-time. I'm a global VP of sustainability. I love helping to save the planet, which was one reason Modere was very appealing to me because of their green credentials and everything they do. It's important to me. And how I got into Modere was, it was kind of like a perfect storm timing, as you heard from Lori Lee, everything that was going on with her. I had, gotten divorced. I had still had my kid weight. I had stress weight. I had menopause weight. And I was not taking care of myself. And so I wanted to start taking care of myself. And at around the same time, I had an acquaintance I knew who had a business helping people who are in sort of network marketing, with their content and things. And she just reached out and asked me one day and said, hey, are you keeping your sort of options open for other online income? And I was like, well, okay, yeah, tell me more, And so when I learned about the products, that got me excited. But it was the business model that really got me interested because it's so easy to follow and everything is laid out for you. The community is like none other. I work from home, so having an online community is really important for me. And so I gave the products a try, and long story short, just like Lori Lee, I lost 50 pounds of menopause, mommy belly weight, as I call it, through the use of the products, primarily at the time through our lean body system, and most recently maintaining and keeping the bloat off and everything with our 5-day drop, which I love. I do that every 6 weeks or so just to get myself, reset my gut, get everything back on track because I do travel so much, as Michelle mentioned. There are places in the world where you have to eat what's available, and it's not always, what you want to have or the things that you're used to having to maintain your weight and diet and things. So whenever I have a long trip or something, I'll come back and do that. So that's how I got into it. Somebody just asked me to take a look at the opportunity, and I did, and I was impressed.
Yeah. I love that. And, you're a bigwig. You're someone that's, has a full-time job. Most people are looking like, oh, I'm not going to ask her. She works full-time. She makes plenty of money. She's a VP. Whoa, right? So, this opportunity is for anybody, everybody, and so we should never, I always say, we should never prejudge, right? If we know that we have an opportunity that's a blessing for so many people in so many different ways, and like you said, it's funny, you touched on a few different things, is just that, you want to take care of your health. You have some things you need to work on yourself. You're working from home. You love the community part of it, right? It's not always about the money. It's not always about that. Of course, supplemental income is amazing, right? It's we need it. We want to be able to do all the fun things that we do, but sometimes it's a little bit more than that. And I love that perspective. So tell me, like I said, you're all over the place. I see you're traveling all the time, but I see you so consistent on social media. Please share with us some tips on how you show up on social with your busy life, like how do you prioritize your day? Give us like a little DMO of yeah.
Sure, yeah. So my day starts early because our headquarters are in Singapore and in Europe, so it's a non-negotiable for me. I always post in the morning, and I'll do some of my reach outs in the morning just real quick so that I check those off. I do I do a post, I do a reel that, I just repurpose reels now. I've made so many I can repurpose, or I'll just create one real quick now that I know how to do them all, and do my content and everything in the morning. If I have a break, I'll check to see if there's any messages or anything. At lunchtime, I'll usually, catch up. And then my days actually end a little bit earlier because I start so early. So I have a good chunk of the afternoon and in the evening, to really put the effort forward here. And so that's when I do a lot of follow-ups or reach-outs, and kind of create my strategy for the next coming promotions or anything that's coming up. So for me, it's just a time thing. So if I have meetings that start at 7, I just get up and make sure, 15 minutes before meetings I've posted everything. So it's just a habit now of doing that so that the day doesn't get away from me. So I'll just do it in the morning. But for me too, Michele, like I think a slightly different perspective from Lauren and Lori Lee is, I'm 58. I'm going to retire in about 2 years. I started this business 3 years ago. And part of the point of jumping in as well, aside from the sustainability credentials and the great products and everything, was I'm looking to retire and I want to have some supplemental income. Yes, I have a great job. Yes, I'm good, but I'm learning new skills. As I said, I've got 7 kids. Guess what? They don't stop needing money from you. For a new apartment, down payment, or a car down payment, or oh gosh, the brakes just went out, or my computer died. You're always helping them, right? And so I like having this extra disposable income, not disposable, but extra income to do in those situations. So I'm not dipping into my savings, or wondering how I'm going to make, meet a mortgage payment or something, So for me, it's great. Like a prime example this week, or in the last 2 weeks, a daughter of mine graduated, moved her to New York. Her car, right before we left, the front axle broke, so you got to repair that, and then move her across the country. Well, moves into New York are not cheap. Oh my gosh, So I was able to confidently know that I wasn't having to dip, super deep into savings to cover some of those expenses. So I'm looking forward to the ready to retire piece. So for me, that's kind of my focus, right? I'm trying to build this business as something fun to do to help people. I thoroughly enjoy helping people. It's a challenge for me. As I mentioned, I'm a scientist. I actually have a degree in chemistry. And so I'm learning all kinds of new skills that are so fun for me, challenging me in new ways. And so, that's what keeps my energy up and going.
I love that. And what I get from that is that you have a goal, right? Like if we don't have a goal, then we don't really know where you're going. Like you set a plan for yourself. And I know I watched that about you too when I watch you on social media. So number one, like you do a lot of reels. So was that like, how did you get yourself started doing something like that? Again, 53, a lot of times people will be like, I can't do reels, So like, tell us, like, are you, and I know you have a reel strategy too. So maybe you could just share that with everybody too, like with your posting strategy with your reels. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was never on TikTok, I was on Instagram, Facebook, but I was never doing reels, and I just did it. I just tried it. I think I took some class maybe with someone on how to set up your TikTok account and whatever, and then I just watched how people did things on TikTok, and I'm like, well, let me try that. And so, it's a learning process. It wasn't super easy in the beginning, but once you figure it out, and, people will can show you how to do that, it's not hard. And you know what? I also learned you don't spend a lot of time making fancy reels I've just worked out. I'll set up my camera in front of a nice window with good lighting and make the reel and never think twice about it, because you can spend all your time making one and you might get 10 views, and then the one that you spent 2 seconds on might get 10,000 views, So my strategy is I don't worry about it whatsoever. I just make the content and post it on the daily, but I rotate my posts. So I'll talk about our lean body system, literally talk about it in a reel for one day. I talk about, I show the lean body system, in another just fun sort of music one another day, and then I'll talk about our 5-day drop, and then the last one I do is about our business. Because if you're not talking about the business, you can't grow your business. So you have to show people, or talk about what it is that you are getting out of the business and the opportunity so that people will be interested. You can't just expect people to say, hey, what are you, are you making money on this? Well, no, you have to talk about it so that people can, ask questions or get interest and you can share the information with people. So I rotate those kind of 4 things, in series consistently. So that's what helps grow. So I grew last year in 2023. I went from 500 followers on Facebook to like 20,000 followers on Facebook, just from executing that strategy. I know. It was insane. It was insane.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, and it shows, right? Like, so you enrolled 5 XMs this month, and, you are an enroller. It's because you're having conversations, you're showing up, you're doing the work. So share with us, what changed this month for you? Like, I know you have a big goal. I know that you set every month up for yourself that way. So tell us, what you're doing for these new enrollments.
So I took a little bit of a different strategy. Modera's given us the opportunity. They've discounted the package, which they've never done in my 3 years until this summer, right? So that's one thing I point out to people who are my consistent customers who use these products. And that's been my tactic. These are customers who have been longtime customers. I'm just having the frank conversation with them like, hey, you're getting these products, all the time. Here's a great value. I can show you how to make some money back if you want, and just by sharing with your friends or whomever. And so, I had probably one holdout for the last year and a half who was interested in the business. And I said, look, this is not, I don't know when this is ever going to come back. Even if you're not going to start selling like right now, like grab it, and then when you're ready, let's get you on board. And that was one of the 5, because she saw the value. So it's just a frank, they've followed me long enough or have seen, and I get my sort of demographic is the, probably over 45, menopause, perimenopause, postmenopause, want to lose weight, and also folks who are looking forward to retirement income, some income in retirement. So that's kind of the demographic that I've been creating. And so those are the people with whom I'm having conversations.
Yeah, I love that. So it sounds to me like you slowed down, you prioritized like what you wanted to do and having those specific conversations with those people, right? And that's what it is too. Like, we live in a world sometimes where it's so fast-paced, posting, social media, but if we're not interacting and having the real conversations with the people that are watching our stuff, our customers, we're loving on them and supporting them, but have those conversations with them. Let them know that this is an opportunity for them. And I always tell people, you don't have to work it as hard as I do, right? Like you're saying to them, you don't have to, but if you're ordering products all the month, this is what you do. Let me show you how I could help you share and plug into our systems. They're so simple. Make your money back and, do a little something for yourself. So I love that you do that. It shows that you are, you're working the business like a business, and that's what we have to do here if you want to retire. If that's what your big goal is, right? You're looking at it as a hobby. You're strategizing what you're doing. I love that you use your product credits for gifting as incentives. I know you run little incentive things for people, right?
Yeah.
Like, is that how you get a lot of new customers as well? Maybe share that.
I do. Yeah, I don't do it all the time, but I save up all my, if anybody who's on here isn't a social marketer, but if you sell a certain amount, you get a certain amount of credit from Modera, and I save up the credit. So like I had $500 in credit this month to use. And so I might offer to people to enroll, I'll pay the $50 annual enrollment fee, for this year for you, to save you, from having to pay that on top of the product package. Or new customers who've been on the fence, when we have a promotion, I said, hey, look, here's this promotion. During the promotion 5 days, if you want to order for new customers, I'll give you an extra $20 off, you know. And so I convert them. If they've been around long enough, you know, I usually convert some folks that way. But I don't do that all the time. I do it, you know, like during our Black Friday is when I get a ton of new customers, as does everybody, but because I offer that. And then, you know, Fodera offers this an incentive trip, if you will. You have to earn it, right? I'll do that probably 2 of the 6 months during that time period, right, to grow my customer base. You know, and especially like this month when they're giving you extra points for new customers, you know. So I use those strategically. So I don't spend them all on myself. I'll save them up, and because it's free credits, right? And so I'm giving them away to convert or get people, you know, to take one more look at the product or enrollment.
I love it. All right, we're going to wrap this up. You are a scientist by nature, so quickly tell us, how excited are you about this new product that we have launching in September?
I cannot wait because, as you said, I love it's ingestible versus injectable, natural, which, you know, to me is a little more important. And from the results from the group that's doing it right now, holy cow, 28 people last I saw, 400 pounds. That's like 14 pounds a person over, 5 weeks already? That's insane. That's crazy good. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait for that either. Well, thank you so much, Peggy, for being on. I really appreciate it. I love chatting with you, of course, and I know a lot of people got a lot of value from hearing from you and a lot of inspiration. And from everybody, I really hope you guys leave this call today inspired and excited, right? Remember, there's 5-day drop promo that's starting on the 29th. We also have the $100 off the XM pack. So after today's call, you should be inspired and excited to reach out to different big-time professionals who are on your chicken list, right? Maybe like a Peggy. Maybe you want to just reach out to your customers and say, like, hey, why not try this? Do this with us. Let us help you earn some extra cash. The holidays are coming. Before you guys know it, it's going to be the holiday seasons. Like, we need to be making some extra income, and this is the time. It's the end of August, but this is how we catapult ourselves to the end of 2024. So thank you guys so much for being on here. Reach out to those beauty techs. You know, don't be afraid to pop the question. We truly have an amazing opportunity here. So thank you all for being on.